Okay, so I recorded quite a few hours of me mixing the drums in real time for this track. Unfortunately, I don't know why it didn't get recorded properly, so there's no audio. So I'll have to do a run through for you, but I'll do a detailed one. Everything else, you will see me mixing it in real time. Okay, I'll give you a before and after of the drums. You can hear hi-hat is really low, barely hear it, so we're gonna have to do quite a lot of magic here. And this is how it sounds now after the mixing. So let's start with the kick first. For the kick, the first thing I did was to replace the sample. I wanted something different with more body. I have two different samples. This is one of them. This is the other. So we kept both together. Okay, first plugin always EQ to clean up a little bit. In this case, I didn't want to remove all the low end. A low shelf was good enough. And then I had to remove some of the middle. Let's hear it before and after. For me, it makes it a little bit tighter. Then we move on to this by Slate. We have some saturation, compression, and EQ. Let's see what it does before and after. It just brings up the low end and the color of the kick, makes it nice and fat. Compression. And then some EQ to give it some low end and a little bit of 5K. Sounds good, sounds really round and beefy. And then lastly, pull check. This one I added pretty much towards the end, just doing a little 60. Okay, so that's the kick, that's before and after. Let's check it out before and after. This is with the samples. Okay, snares. I had one snare, I duplicated the track into 3, but this is the original one. So first thing I did was to divide it into 3. So these two will be my actual snare sounds. I used some sample replacement again. This one is just the original one, but I left it for the ghost notes. Okay, let's start with the first one. It's gonna be the low one. This is the other one. Before and after the samples. First plugin, EQ again. We have some low cut around 96, then one at 436 and 846. Let's remove them and see what they're doing. Then we have again this by Slate, some saturation. And then some compression again. And then some API 550p by Waves to color it. I'm boosting 200 and 240. So I want it to be quite thick. So this is before. Then we have the high snare. I just got this sample here. We get some EQ first. Just a tiny cut here. 810 against a boxy. And so 110 pretty much. Virtual rack again. 550 dB again, API, but in this case, only a tiny boost on 5K. And then something different, I used also an imager just to make it a little bit stereo, because I wanted the low end of the snare to be quite mono, but the top end a little bit open. I want it to be a bit wide, you know. Check both together. For the ghost notes, something similar. First EQ, then some noise gate, just letting the ghost notes go through. Saturation, box. I know this is supposed to be for vocals, but I like it how it sounds in this case. And then limiter. Now I have something on the snare boss. Let's see what it is. I have some pull check here, bit of 100, bit of 10K. Limiter, because there were some hits that were really louder than others. So I had to, make it a bit flat. I didn't want to kill the dynamics, but they were quite notorious. Some more API, and then some clipper, of course. Then some reverb. We have lustrous plate and some EQ to clean up, and boosting the top end on the sides only, because I want it to be wide again. Let's see a before and after so far with the kick and snare. And now on.